I've been painting with spray bottles with watercolors for over 20 years. And then those spray bottles that I was using were discontinued. So after an intensive search for over 2 years, my wife Gloria and I found a bottle which I'm calling Palette in a Bottle. This is the dot sprayer, and it's companion fine mist, Palette in a Bottle fine mist sprayer with a black top. And I thought it'd be a good idea today to go over these sprayers and show you some lessons that I've learned about them. But let me show you a couple paintings that I've done. This here is just a practice watercolor sketch, but I used the dot spray on the trees. You can see the dots there. I can show them, I'll demonstrate that in a few moments. And then on the ground you can see where the fine mist for the grass. And another painting I did, and this is 95% using dot spray and fine mist bottles. And I call this Rainforest. And this was a painting I did. The other 5% I did a brush to do the trees and so forth. So the spray bottle here, now these come with a cap also. I'll go over that in a few minutes, why that's important. These come with a little cap that comes over top. And with the green number 1 in a dot spray bottle, all I have to do is do a light tap, and you get a nice little dot pattern, okay, which is good for trees, grass, and so forth. And the fine mist, here is a fine mist sprayer. Again, I put a cap on it. The fine mist sprayer with the black top. Here I've got quinacridone violet, which is a nice bright color. And here I've got the fine mist sprayer. And why this is so important is I can interchange the tops here with the dot sprayer, and I can use the same colors with a dot spray pattern or with a fine mist pattern. The tops are interchangeable. You see the fine mist. So the normal operation here is just to take the dot spray and hold it up and just do a light tapping motion. Okay, that's a normal operation. Now the covered top, the reason I use these is that after you're done with them, you put the cover top back on, and what that does, it keeps the paints from drying out, because you'll notice here that the paint will be in the top, it'll be in the nozzle, and by putting the top on, that keeps it from getting hardened or dry for 3 or 4 days or even a little bit longer. Some of these I've had here for a couple weeks. But if you don't paint them every day like I do, then they could dry up a little bit. So that's the purpose of the tops. That helps to keep your paints ready to go. This is a dot spray bottle with, I've got yellow orange in the bottle, okay? But what happens sometimes is the paint will dry in here. So what you will do, sometimes it just won't operate. So what you do, let me get this paper out of the way. I'll bring over the water bucket. So if that happens, if your sprayer dries out, you take the lid off and you drop it into the water. Now the paints that I use is Holbein watercolor paints, and they are water soluble. So, and then with a couple squirts, and I'm just spraying plain water now. Then you put the cap back on, and then do a couple little. I'm priming the pump now just by hitting it 4 or 5 times. And I'll bring it back to the paper. And now we're back in operation again, okay? So that'll happen. You'll see this here. You'll see the paint that's right there in the nozzle. So that's why I keep the tops on, to keep it from drying out. Now also, as I mentioned before, these can, if you're going to exchange tops, you would also take the bottle and rinse it out and then put it onto, let's say you were going to interchange the dot spray with a fine mist for a different color. Then you would rinse out the top and then take the top off and then put it back on the color you want, and then you're ready to go. This happens to have operating, which is a nice pink now. And if you'll see sometimes when you push down, maybe the top will stick. Well, then the best way to do that is just pull it up a little bit and continue on. And because you only have to do a light tapping motion, that should not happen very often. But sometimes if you press hard and the tops will stick on you, is because the paint has gotten down into that little nozzle, and it has tightened up the nozzle when you release it. So it's just a matter of pulling it up and then continuing ahead. And I always put the tops, replace the tops back on. Well, that concludes my demonstration on how to take care of and maintain your dot spray bottles and fine mist bottles. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up. It helps with my ratings. Now I have other videos on my YouTube channel that shows some of the techniques that I have developed over the past year or so. So you can go on, I'll have those video links on the comments below or in the description below of this video. I'll see you on the next video.